Two South African Boerboels, 200 pounds each, sat in a shelter for 411 days. 19 families visited them. Every single one walked away. Too big, too dangerous, too much. Then one woman signed the papers. And what happened inside her house at 3:12 a.m. 4 months later proved that every single one of those 19 families was wrong. Claire Whittemore was 28 years old, recently divorced, and living in a house that felt like it was built for echoes. She had a stable job as a veterinary technician, a small garden that she never used, and a silence that followed her from room to room. She didn't need saving, at least that's what she told herself every morning while drinking coffee alone at 6:15 a.m. at a kitchen table meant for four. On a Tuesday afternoon in November, Claire stopped by Greenfield Rescue on her way home from work. She wasn't planning to adopt. She told herself she was just checking on a terrier mix she had treated the week before. But the moment she walked past Kennel 14, she stopped. Two massive dogs sat side by side, pressed together like they were holding each other up. The first was jet black, 197 pounds, with a head the size of a basketball and eyes that looked like they had seen too much. The second was caramel brown, 203 pounds, wrinkled face, loose skin folding over itself like melted candle wax. South African Boerboels, bred to guard farms against lions, surrendered because their previous owner moved to a one-bedroom flat and simply said, "I can't anymore." They had been at the shelter for 411 days. In that time, 19 families visited them. Every single one walked away. Too big, too expensive, too intimidating, too much. The shelter manager, a woman named Diane, told Claire the truth. They eat 14 pounds of food a week combined. Their vet bills alone will cost more than your car insurance. And nobody wants two dogs this size. We've tried to separate them, but Nala stops eating and Atlas howls until his throat gives out. They're a package deal, and the package is 400 pounds of dog. Claire looked at Atlas. Atlas looked at Claire. Then he did something no one at the shelter had ever seen him do. He leaned his enormous head against the kennel bars and let out a single low whine. Not a bark, not a growl, a sound that said, "Please." Claire signed the adoption papers 40 minutes later. The first 72 hours were a disaster. Atlas knocked over the coat rack within 11 seconds of entering the house. Nala sat on the couch and it sank 4 inches. Together, they weighed more than Claire's refrigerator. That first night, Claire made them beds on the floor. Expensive, orthopedic, large breed beds. By 2 a.m., both beds were empty. She found Atlas sleeping across the entire couch, legs hanging off both sides, snoring like a broken lawnmower. Nala was on Claire's bed, taking up exactly 2/3 of a queen-size mattress, leaving Claire a 14-inch strip on the edge. She tried to move Nala. Nala opened one eye, looked at her, and closed it again. Conversation over. By the end of week 1, Claire had lost her couch, her bed, her favorite armchair, and her ability to eat dinner without a 200-pound dog resting its chin on the table, watching every bite. Atlas had a particular talent for drooling at exactly the moment Claire lifted a fork. The puddle under his chin measured roughly the size of a dinner plate, every single meal. But here's what nobody tells you about Boerboels. Behind those massive skulls and wrinkled faces, there's a brain that reads people like a book. And Atlas and Nala had been reading Claire since the moment she walked past Kennel 14. 3 weeks in, Claire had a bad day. A surgery at work went wrong. She lost a patient, a 6-year-old Labrador. She came home, dropped her keys on the counter, sat on the kitchen floor, and cried. Atlas walked in first. Slowly. He didn't jump, he didn't bark, he lowered his 197-pound body onto the floor next to her and placed his head on her lap. Then Nala came. She pressed herself against Claire's other side, her entire 203-pound body creating a wall of warmth. Claire was sandwiched between 400 pounds of dog on a kitchen floor at 7:43 p.m. on a Wednesday, And for the first time in 11 months, the house didn't feel empty. I see you're still watching but haven't subscribed yet. That honestly stings a little. Hit subscribe. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens next. From that night on, a routine formed. Every morning at 6:15, Atlas would walk to Claire's bedroom door and sneeze. Not bark, sneeze. One loud, dramatic sneeze that shook his entire body. It was his alarm clock. Nala had her own system. She would pick up Claire's left slipper, only the left one, never the right, carry it to the kitchen and place it next to her food bowl. The message was clear. You get your shoe when I get my breakfast. On a Friday night in March, 4 months after the adoption, Claire woke up at 3:12 a.m. to Atlas barking. Not his usual deep, lazy bark. This was sharp, urgent, relentless. She ran downstairs and found him standing at the kitchen door, staring at the garden. Nala was beside him, hackles raised, a low growl vibrating through her chest. Claire turned on the garden light. A man was halfway over her back fence. He froze when the light hit him. Then he saw Atlas, 197 pounds, standing perfectly still, teeth visible, eyes locked. The man didn't climb over the fence, he fell off it. He ran so fast he left a shoe behind. The police came. They found 2 other houses on the street had been broken into that same night. Claire's was the only one untouched. The same 2 dogs that 19 families rejected, the same 400 pounds of too much. They were the reason Claire slept safely that night and every night after. Today, Atlas is 5 and Nala is 4. They still steal the couch. Atlas still sneezes at 6:15 every morning. Nala still holds Claire's left slipper hostage until breakfast. The kitchen floor puddle of drool has become a permanent feature that Claire has simply accepted as interior design. Claire doesn't eat alone anymore. She doesn't come home to silence. She comes home to 400 pounds of loyalty, drool, stolen slippers, and a love so big it barely fits through the front door. When a dog barks or acts restless, there is always a reason. Don't dismiss it. Believe in them. They have senses we lost long ago. That is their world. Respect it. Trust them. And if you're thinking about adopting, learn first, prepare well, and understand that sometimes the ones the world calls too much are exactly what you need. Because Claire didn't rescue Atlas and Nala. They rescued her. Would you take a chance on 2 200-pound dogs that 19 families rejected? Tell me in the comments.